Hi, I'm NURUL SHAFIKAH as a newsreader for today, which is I will share the news about the climate change in Southeast Asia. As we know, Southeast Asia is globally considered one of the most vulnerable regions to climate change. Countries across the region will face a rising sea levels, heat wave, floods and droughts, and increasingly intense and unpredictable weather events. Furthermore, with much of the population and infrastructure located in coastal and river delta areas, hundreds of millions of people are at great risk for the impact of climate change. The region's aggressive economic development plans in the turn could further exacerbate the problems. Sprawling megacities and spreading the agriculture lands lead to land use conversion and forest loss, which will continue to be a major source of greenhouse gas emission. Okay, next, to know more about the issue of climate change, I will pass to our reporter on duty today to explain further.
Hello, I am reporter ADILAH from AZIZ News. Today I want to share some issues that happen in Southeast Asia, which is flooding that causes by climate change. One of the major threats to people's lives in Southeast Asia is floods. This is because its negatively impact development prospect. Floods were regarded as the main threat in Southeast Asia by 22.4% of the population, with 18.1% of the vote had with come in second, while 12% to heavy rain. Flooding in Southeast Asia has become more frequent. Many areas of Southeast Asia are now experiencing flooding, particularly those near the Mekong River in Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines. Besides, this can be proven floods as a threat in Southeast Asia is when the typhoon-driven rains pounded the city of Hoi An, Vietnam in November 2018. According to Journal of Global Health in 2011, there were an estimated 567 flood-related deaths in Thailand, 248 more in Cambodia, 85 in Vietnam, 30 in Laos, and 102 in the Philippines. To overcome this issue, I come up with effective suggestions. Firstly, an early warning system. This refers to the gathering and analysis capabilities required to produce and disseminate timely and accurate warning information that will allow people, communities, and organizations at risk to respond appropriately. This involves the expected time to prevent harm. Due to this technology used in the detection and early warning system is crucial in preventing floods. For example, VinAware is a specialized early warning technology program created by the Pacific Disaster Center by Vietnam. Next is community preparedness. Community preparedness is crucial in providing emergency assistance. Evacuation is one of the first emergency measures used during a flood. As a part of community preparation, evacuation protocols have been established to get people out of flooded, unsafe or at-risk regions. This also allows people and animals to safely move to high ground or shelters. Lastly is emergency first aid. This includes concern with food security, cleanliness, access to clean water, and infectious disease transmission. The Southeast Asia Region Office of the World Health Organization (WHO) has noted the enhanced monitoring and follow-up of disease outbreaks during floods. In order to enhance sanitation during floods, a number of efforts have been put in place, including the provision of safe location, raise awareness, and giving soap for washing hands.
Hi, I'm MURSALINA binti Muhammad Noor, your reporter for this slot. Globally, sea levels are rising as a result of the melting of ice sheets and glaciers and the expansion of the oceans as they warm with climate change. At more local scales, the height of the land itself may be slowly rising, or sinking as a result of geological changes, the compaction of the soil, or extraction of water or oil from deep within the ground. Recent sea level rise has averaged 3.2 mm per year. Sea level rise rates are accelerating, but they are also variable across the oceans due to patterns in ocean currents and differences in ocean temperatures. Wherever sea levels are rising or the land is subsiding, the impacts of waves, strong surges, and erosion will reach further inland. The study, named as Doomsday Report, predicts that by 2050, certain parts of Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh City in Southeast Asia may be underwater. Besides that, the Mekong Delta in Vietnam also may have to evacuate its residents in coastal regions due to the issue. Moreover, according to Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) research, Southeast Asian nations including Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines will be impacted because coastlines are more susceptible to sea level rise. That's all from me. I will pass to the next reporter. Hi again, referring to the issue of sea level rise, restoring mangrove forest is one of the effective strategies that can be done by the ASEAN region in facing the issue. This plan specifically aims to achieve objectives relating to climate adaptation and mitigation. Mangrove serves as a storm barrier, enhancing the coastal region's ability to withstand climate-related risks, including tsunamis, sea level rise, and preventing coastal erosions. Another solution that should be implemented by all ASEAN nations to mitigate the effects of sea level rise is the building of seawalls. As the sea level rises, the old seawalls will need to be rebuilt and raised higher to minimize floods, which impacts from rising sea level. Study has predicted that in early 2030s, the effects of sea level rise are about to start appearing in some ASEAN nations. That's all report from me. I will pass to the next reporter.
Hi everyone, I am reporter Najwa. Next news is about drought. Southeast Asia has been facing severe drought in the past 5 years. It was stated that this region has been experiencing the strongest drought in the decades, affecting all the ASEAN countries, and there is no one country being excluded from the drought. Nearly 60% of the local population was exposed at its height, while more than 70% of the land area was damaged. In drought hotspots, which are areas with significant drought exposure, socio-economic fragility, and land degradation, there is 50% to 25% of the population living in the area. Nevertheless, if compared drought to other disasters, drought are more predictable. For example, during 2020, the drought in Thailand is severe and it was the worst drought in the previous 14 years, according to the expert. The major supply water for Bangkok, which is Chao Phraya River, is low-lying, which has made the drought even worse. People in Bangkok and the surrounding areas was currently facing a water shortage. First suggestion to deal with the drought is having an early warning and drought monitoring program. This should be available in every ASEAN country. This may involve important industries such as agriculture to start the process of providing early assistance while simultaneously stepping up social protection to lessen the impact on low-income population. Aside from further mitigation measures, risk also can be decreased by more precise weekly and monthly prediction that will enable early reaction and mid-course modification. Near real-time and in-season monitoring can be used to supplement longer-range forecasting and provide extra warnings several days in advance. Second way is planting more trees and combating deforestation. Everyone in the world must use this way, and it has the potential to lead to the daily planting of billions of the trees. More trees will enhance the environment's quality and increase the likelihood the precipitation will occur. If the trees are well cared for until they reach maturity, it can help to improve the drought and dry condition of a region. Combating deforestation is also essential as it keeping the forest intact, and it helps to prevent floods and drought by regulating regional rainfall. That's all from me. I will pass to the next reporter.
Okay, hello. My name is AMMAR bin SHAHRIM. I'm the reporter from ASEAN News. I'm here to explain what is the issue of climate change in the Southeast Asia, which is global warming. Global warming is the long-term warming of the planet overall temperature. Through this warming trend has been going on for a long time. Its pace has significantly increased in the last 100 years due to the burning of fossil fuels. Global warming can result in many serious alterations to the environment, eventually impact of human health. It can also cause rise in sea level, leading to the loss of coastal land and change in the precipitation pattern, and also increase risk of drought and floods and threats to the biodiversity. For example, Southeast Asia was responsible for about 6.5% of global energy related carbon dioxide emission in 2020. However, due to their geographical location, countries in Southeast Asia have distinct vulnerabilities that are exacerbated as a result of increasing global temperature level, including stronger and more frequent typhoon, harsher droughts and food insecurity. Global warming is a gas trapping phenomenon known as greenhouse, involving a group of gases: carbon dioxide (CO2), carbon monoxide (CO), and chlorofluorocarbon (CFC). Okay, to overcome the global warming issue, we will provide the best way to reduce or stop the global warming. To begin, it must put an end to all sort of deforestation. Cutting down more trees will only worsen the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Instead, urge people to plant more trees in order to restore nature balance. Most importantly, deforestation and plant cutting all over the place worsen the situation for our world. The way in which we burn wood and petroleum-based product exacerbates the issue of global warming. Second suggestion is to drive less often. Single passenger cars are among the most polluting modes of transportation. We must pick public transport over driving whenever it's possible, such as a requirement of heightened in Malaysia, a highly motorized country where traffic congestion is already a major issue. However, walking or cycling is our greatest option for short distance. Last suggestion is strengthening the policy by giving the summon to people. It is because lowering and stabilizing level of greenhouse gas that capture in the atmosphere, capture heat in the atmosphere. Electricity generation is the single largest source of greenhouse gas (GHG) emission practically everywhere, including Malaysia, owing to a reliance on fossil fuel inputs such as coal and natural gas.
Hello, I'm reporter SHAFIKAH. I will explain about the party involved in climate change. Firstly, the party involved is UNESCAP, which is on 27 November 2020 in Bangkok. The ASEAN Secretariat and the ASEAN United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific had launched a report, which is the second edition of Ready for the Dry Years, which is building resilience to drought in Southeast Asia. It reveals a significant effect that have accumulated over time and persisted across the region, such as disruption to livelihoods and food security, as well as an increase in environmental dangers like forest fires and haze. According to the Joint ASEAN UNESCAP, ASEAN member states should adopt a proactive strategy that views a drought early warning and readiness as the key resources for implementing drought adaptation. The ASEAN member states are exposed to three elements, which are reduce and prevent, prepare, and also respond and restore and recover. The suggested solutions address a broad variety of policy issues, including the management of the food, waters, and energy system, as well as the deployment of early warning system and finance for drought risk. Secondly, the parties involved in climate change is World Health Organization, which is World Health Organization focused action to address global warming and climate change to promote health outcome, which is this strategy aims to provide a vision and way forward on how the world and its health community need to respond to environmental health risks and challenges until 2030 and to ensure a safe, enabling and equitable environments for health by transforming our way of living, working, producing, consuming and also governing. Next, World Health Organization also to improve health outcome linked to the environmental risks such as unsafe water and inadequate sanitation. Environmental risks to health in the framework of the strategy are defined as all the environmental, physical, chemical, biological and work-related factors external to a person and all related behaviors. It focuses especially on the part of the environment that can be reasonably modified.
The next party involved is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. The IPCC is an organization of government that are members of the United Nations or the World Meteorological Organization. The IPCC currently has 195 members. The main activities of IPCC are to prepare comprehensive assessment reports on climate change, its causes, impacts and response options. Second is methodology reports, which provide practical guidance to parties to the UNFCCC and Paris Agreement to help them prepare national greenhouse gas inventories. Next is special reports on topics that inform the assessment reports. Next is building adaptive capacity, which is BSC, involve developing the institutional capacity to respond effectively to climate change. The BSC activities include gathering and sharing information, example like undertaking research, monitoring data and training initiative. Next activity is creating a supportive institutional framework, example like changing standard legislation and best practice guidance. Hi, I'm a reporter that will explain about the conclusion. Climate change poses significant challenges and impacts of Southeast Asia, a region known for its ecological diversity and vulnerability. The rising frequency and intensity of natural disasters like tropical storms, floods, and drought are among Southeast Asia's top priorities. The population, economics, and infrastructure of the area are severely affected. Southeast Asia needs a comprehensive and integrated strategy to combat climate change. For Southeast Asia, climate change is a complicated and critical subject that necessitates both immediate action and long-term planning. It is essential to prioritize sustainable development, resilience building, and international cooperation to mitigate the impacts of climate change and secure a sustainable and prosperous future for the region.